calling it the end.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hi everyone. So before this video begins, I suppose I should say that this video will include spoilers from Legion's End and, well, if these speculations are correct, much further. But before I start, I want to ask the question of the day. Who do you think will be the last boss in Battle for Azeroth? Let me know in the comments because I'm curious. But anyway, let's begin. So today I'm going to have a look at Ogmot's Dream Journal, which is an item you can get in Silithus off a rare named Ogmot after the events of Argus. The Argus raid, I should say. You know where that big sword is in the world and spewing blood all over the place? That place. This video may be long, I'm just warning you. Inside this dream book, Ogmot actually gave us a ton of cool hints and speculation points to go over, but let's take a look at them. I'll read through and translate them to proper English-ish as best I can, because Ogmot not exactly good at speak. Anyway, let's begin. Ogmot was just puny boy, fighting in the war camp when the Masters first blessed him with the visions. I come to Silithus, to the great wound, seeking wonders. Make Ogmot your vessel, Masters. Last night, Ogmot dreams of great battle. 2 fleets bashing on an ocean of blood. Shadows twisting beneath the ships. Rising, rising. Ogmot was so happy watching the carnage. Then Ogmot gets woken up by skittering sound. Stupid bugs. Doesn't matter. Ogmot knows these dreams soon come true. So he talks about the battle and the 2 fleets bashing, and people have said that this might simply just be an overview of Battle for Azeroth. You know, it means that they're clashing over the entire expansion, but I'm going to go a step further and say that this means a specific battle. Perhaps the last raid in Battle for Azeroth, which is what I'm going to theorize, or I should say, I guess more like the Tomb of Sargeras raid. All depends on how Blizzard wants to go with this. So the Alliance and the Horde, I think, in this battle will meet on the ocean for the deciding battle to see who the victor is. Whomever wins here, the other side will not be able to stop the faction from reaching land. But let us continue. Life comes back to this wasteland. First the bugs come, now the goblins sulking around. They crave the world blood. Ogmot is sure of it. Ha! Let them have their drippings. Soon Ogmot's gonna drink rivers of blood. The Master promises. Today, smoke rises from a campfire. Smoke tells Ogmot a good story. Ogmot sees Lady wrapped in dark swirlies. She leads her herd of blind sheep. The sheepies follow her every place she goes. Do everything she says. They never doubt Lady. She guides them over a tall cliff. Splat, splat, splat. Stupid sheepies. The crows get fat eating at the sheepies. The lady laughs as the crows eat. Ogmot laughed too. Yeah, this could mean Sylvanas, perhaps Jaina. But the only thing that's throwing me off a little bit is the wrapping. So this could indicate an injured character. So it could still be left up in the air. You know, he also says they never doubt Lady. But Sylvanas, without going into spoilers, has a ton of people who doubt her, who don't follow her. So I think this part is still up for interpretation. And, well, another possibility is it's a female ethereal that we have yet to meet. Now, who knows how ethereals are made? But let's say, for example, Illyria goes down this path of the void. What if she turns into an ethereal? What if she's the lady in wrappings? Possible. Let's continue. The blade has a shiny eye, always watching us. Why does no one see it? So I also have to interject here for just a moment. Now, it seems like all these dreams that Ogmot has are all part of the same sort of scene, I guess you could say. So, for example, he talks here about the blade with the eye, and my first thought was, oh, it just means Sargeras' sword, but there's no eye on that blade. It's more connected to the hilt. Now, if he's talking about the Boy King and the 3 lies he's going to tell, and how Anduin's been referenced to as the Boy King, could he be talking about his father's sword? Could his father's sword be the blade with the eye that watches that nobody notices? I mean, it's entirely possible that maybe some part of Varian is still in the sword. Maybe it's still part of whomever the sword came from in the first place. I mean, half it came from Jaina, and the other half came from, oh boy, it was an elf. I don't remember their name, but it's possible that the blade could have been corrupted. That's why it was left on the broken shore. I mean, honestly, who knows? He could also be talking about the dagger that he talks about later. Maybe there was the dagger that showed him the visions. There's a lot of possibilities here, and a lot of them are crazy, but again, I don't think he's talking about Sargeras' sword. 3 lies. The first one's been told. Bound by that throne? No. Free. Free. The next one's gonna come soon. Maybe they'll see this one. Now, my first thought is Anduin, and this is also based on the Il'gynoth whispers. The boy king serves at the master's table. 3 lies will he offer you. Now, these events are the ones that have to come true in order for N'Zoth essentially to break free of his prison. These are the events that have been theorized from Il'gynoth as well. So Il'gynoth will play a part in this video. Ogmot, it seems like his dreams are kind of meshing together with Il'gynoth. I'm assuming the old gods show their people everything, or the same vision, I should say. So the popular opinion is Anduin, although I don't believe he'd willingly serve the old gods. But of course, neither did Magni, and, well, us. Yet we definitely made sure that the same events transpired that they said, that they told us were going to happen. Especially the one where the Titans can no longer help us. You know, by closing that big rift and sending them who knows where in the cosmos. I mean, it took 1,000 years for Illyria Trilla, and it took us how many years? For 28 years to find them? We're screwed. Okay, anyway. So the first lie's been told. We don't know what it is. We won't know what the 3 lies are until the end. It's possible Anduin's like, no, you know what? I just wanted vengeance for my father. I don't care about peace. Sure, I lied to you 3 times. Who cares? The means to an end sort of thing. Of course, the only bad thing about these lies is they're playing right into the old god's hand. That's the only reason people have issues with these lies. But let's continue on to page 6. Other hammers are here now, other Twilight Hammer clan. They talk about Argus, about the one that got wakened, about the great victory that our enemy hasn't even noticed. So they talk about the victory that their enemy, they said their enemy hasn't even noticed, which is us. So we wakened one, and, well, here's where things get weird. So the Sword of Sargeras fell, blood everywhere of Azrothian. Now the Silithids are waking up. They're evolving and they're adapting to this blood. Is it possible that Cthulhu has woken up as well? About the one that got wakened, is it possible that Cthulhu has woken back up? It's also possible that Xal'atath is the one who got woken up, but her vessel kind of seems to be only in the dagger. I think she said she was sacrificed and she was put into this dagger by her brothers, who are the other 4 old gods. But anyway, yeah, they're talking about the one that got wakened. The great victory that we'll never even notice. So it's possible that Cthulhu is waking up and, well, N'Zoth doesn't want him to wake up. N'Zoth wants the planet to himself. You know, the old gods had a battle. Well, I shouldn't say battle. They had thousands of millions probably of battles during the Black Empire. So we haven't even noticed this victory. I'm thinking Cthulhu taking a bubble bath in Azerite is probably not a good thing. There's another rumor that the dungeon and the raid were supposed to get revamped into 2 dungeons. Well, we've already seen that rumors about revamped dungeons kind of come true eventually. I talked about this before as well. So maybe Cthulhu could kind of help us deal with N'Zoth. You know, the enemy of my enemy sort of thing. Like if we say, Cthulhu, you're not getting out, but do you want your brother to get out? Do you want him to come in here and kill you? Well, no. Would you rather, have us at least buy you some time so you can try to get out of here? He might help us. Who knows? We might play right into his trap too. It could just be Old God Central. Okay. Of course, this also could just be somebody else that we haven't seen yet, has awakened. It also could mean Azrothian, although she's sort of already awake. So I don't think it really means Azrothian. But it also could mean something else. Maybe there's someone down there who's going to try and help us, who knows how to stop this. I'm assuming maybe some kind of jailer. After all, all the Titan Keepers were in Ulduar to ensure Yogg-Saron never left. I believe Cthulhu had a couple as well, but they were killed. Now, of course, there's going to be one that is in charge of guarding N'Zoth. And maybe that Titan construct woke up. Maybe they're trying to do some damage control, and, well, we're going to need his or her help. Anyway, but only Ogmot sees the visions. Other hammers are not blessed by the Masters. Ogmot shares dreams with the other, but the skinny one just laugh. Ogmot no like her. Who is she? Even Vaudemothras mentioned in the raid Antorus, the Burning Throne. He says she is a patient one, which some people believe to be Sylvanas, but it's possible that it's not. So there's a skinny female from his description within the Twilight's Hammer clan whom could be a possible player either on the Alliance or the Horde as far as another infiltrator. Could it be Jaina? Possible. They said she wasn't a Dreadlord, but they never said she wasn't a servant of the Old God. It also could be Illyria. Some have theorized that it's Xal'ata's other body. But of course, she'd be able to see these visions, or maybe not, because if she's one of the sisters, she probably is too powerful to get visions from her brothers. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. This part, she's definitely going to play a part, but we don't know who she is. So many days have passed on page 7. Many days have passed with no visions. Did Ogmot make the Masters angry? Me gonna make a sacrifice. Please the Masters. Remember Ogmot. Page 8. The star watching Ogmot. Too shiny. Ogmot gonna hide from it. The dagger spoke true. It has been too long since Ogmot got drowned. Which dagger are you talking about there, Ogmot? Again, possible. Xal'ata. There's two things that are sort of important here. One is he doesn't see any more visions. Okay, so is it possible that N'Zoth or whomever is giving Ogmot the visions has their attention diverted? And why is that attention diverted? Secondly, Ogmot talks about how long it's been since he got drowned. This also relates to a whisper of Il'gynoth where he says, drown yourself in the circle of stars. That is where you'll find him. Now, I thought this was going to be related to the circle of stars that are on the ground when you go to see Magni inside of Azeroth when he warns us about Sargeras. But it seems like drowning may mean sacrifice. So we have to sacrifice ourselves in the circle of stars. That is where we'll find him. Now, this leads into things like Ny'alotha. I know we're getting into a lot here, so please try and bear with me. Ny'alotha is the theorized city or a place or a realm in which the old gods go to when they die, or servants of the old gods. So think of demon hunters. When they die, their soul gets ripped back to the twisting nether until it can be resummoned or re-put together, what have you again. So do the old gods die and go to Ny'alotha. This again was proven with Il'gynoth saying, N'Zoth, I venture to Ny'alotha when he dies. Now, if we drown ourselves in the circle of stars, maybe we end up there, but Ogmot doesn't go into any more detail about this. Ogmot also could just simply mean just sacrificing somebody and letting their blood pour on you, which is another thing. And in that case, it's simply we have to sacrifice someone over a circle of stars to open a portal there. Who knows? So page 9. The bones got picked clean, I assume from the sacrifice, but Ogmot still no get visions. The others laugh, say Ogmot not devoted. But me is the but I am the chosen one. Ogmot will not lose faith. Another sacrifice? Yes. One more of them ain't gonna be missed. Okay, well, he either took someone from the Hammer clan or something from us. Who knows? Roused by her screams, stirred by the whispers, a blessing comes from the Masters. Now Ogmot understands. A door. A path. Ours. Fool. The circle awakened us all. Oh no. I thought in the beginning that roused by her screams was Azrothion, but this happens much later than the sword being driven into her. So it's possible it's just simply the screams of the sacrifice, in which I believe to be the most likely. But he does continue to say a door, a path, ours. Fool. The circle awakened us all. Now this also correlates to a whisper from Il'gynoth. 5 keys to open our way. 5 torches to light our path. Also notice that he said fool, not foolza. Fool. which I believe to be the Lord of Ravens, or he's referring to himself, but he also mentions an event, which I think is more believable to be the Lord of Ravens. Now, Khadgar did kind of go MIA for a little bit, did he? He said he was leaving, he didn't want any more of this conflict, he wanted to gain some knowledge. So it's possible he screwed something up. It's also possible that the Prime Designate, Odin, entered one of the Titan facilities, since again he has the clearance to, I should say, because there are 3 more Titan facilities, without going into spoilers, that we haven't seen. We kind of got a little bit of a confirmation from them when we'll go see Magni in Battle for Azeroth, but this last page is a drastic change from the rest. So someone did something to cause this door or this path to open. Now I thought the 5 keys were the pillars of creation, and the torches to light the path were the 5 world trees, since there are 5 of them as well. But the 5th one didn't, also the 5th one didn't really fare so well, did it? From the trailers. But it seems like they may have been the same thing, but of course this is a dream journal. Now this is a lot to take into account. There's a lot here to get through, there's a lot to kind of unravel. But there's one more whisper from Il'gynoth in which we finally got confirmation from, and that whisper was, at the hour of her 3rd death, she will usher in our coming. Now here's the moment in which she talks about her 1st and 2nd death.
It is unsettling to look upon these memorials to our passing.
Indeed. Sometimes I feel that I have already died twice. Once, when we were presumed lost on Draenor. And again, when gripped by the shadow of the fallen Naru.
So what's her 3rd death? How about the death of her sister? Not Sylvanas, but Verisa. That would give her the motivation to kill Sylvanas and maybe tap into those void powers, even more. After all, she will hear the old gods. She will feel the void. It's a power in which I believe she should have never had. Garrosh kind of showed us and proved that to us that she shouldn't have these things. Now, there's another whisper, and this last one's a stretch. But this is also something that has to be talked about. This is Il'gynoth's whisper. The quote is, "A presence. Something new, yet familiar. Yes." Now, this could be the coming of Murozond. After all, Blizzard said that dragons are supposed to play a huge part in Battle for Azeroth. And we know that Murozond, the leader of the Infinite Dragonflight, is actually Nozdormu, who submitted to the old gods when he didn't want to die the way he did after, losing his powers and seeing his death. He wanted to subvert his mortality. And you could also see him in the dungeon End Times. And he says this, "You know not what you have done, Amin-Thul, what I have seen." Now it's very vague, and Blizzard also planted the seeds of the old gods for a very long time. And I suspect that at the end of the expansion, we'll actually usher in the coming of N'Zoth. Hell, most people don't even know that the Lich King actually worked for the old gods and not the Legion, and not for himself. So this could all lead into something. Maybe all he saw was Amin-Thul abandoning him, abandoning us. It's possible that's all he saw. It's also possible the old gods showed him this weird vision and only, cut certain parts out. We did do a Chromie scenario in Legion, in which I thought Chromie was trying to kill Chromie. But is it possible it's an infinite version of herself? Or perhaps Murozond? After all, let's say we get ourselves into a bind. N'Zoth comes up from his prison. Why can't we just travel back in time and stop events which led to him being released? Well, if all the Bronze Drakes are converted or dead, we would be stuck. The old gods will have their reign, their way with Azerothian. This way actually makes a lot of sense. So that's the Journal of Ogmon, and the hints they provide. There's a lot of amazing story to come, and that's one of the reasons that I love this game. It's more in depth now, and it's better than it's ever been. It's better than, I think, any story that a game has been able to provide. And of course, it's providing it on a massive scale, which helps. There's a ton of storylines they can play with. For example, the Lich King and his spoiler. Yes, I said the Lich King and his spoiler, because I didn't want to give it away. After all, I said no spoilers. But if you know a lot of Battle for Azeroth, you kind of know what I'm talking about. I just hope that it all comes together in a nice, amazing touch. Maybe 2 faction leaders of the Alliance and Horde are the end bosses in Battle for Azeroth. Be cool to fight 2 people in an amazing way as the last boss. But anyway, what do you guys think about all this? Is there something I could have expanded on or something you want to know more? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if there's anything I missed, That's another thing you can comment. And if you like the video or dislike the video, you can also let that know by the thumbs up or the thumbs down. Although, you know, the thumbs up is a little bit better than the thumbs down, but I'm just saying. But however, subscribe if you'd like to see more. And I will talk to you guys later.